Okay, guys, welcome to Job 18. So, Job has said his piece, but now his friends are responding to his big speech. And he is continuing to call him out. Eliphaz responded back. Job called him out. Bildad is now going to respond to Job's big speech, his 3-chapter speech. And he is going to do the same thing Eliphaz did. He's going to blame him. Blame him for his problems when it wasn't him. See, there's certain things they don't know either. The wicked are punished. Job 18. Then Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, "How long till you put an end to words?" So he's like, "You're talking too much. Gain understanding." Now he calls him stupid. "And afterward we will speak." So he's now elevated himself above Job, thinking he's smarter than Job. "Why are we counted as beasts and regarded as stupid in your sight?" Well, I know, because they were presenting themselves as that. "You who tear yourself in anger, shall the earth be forsaken for you? Or shall the rock be removed from its place? The light of the wicked indeed goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out. The steps of his strength are shortened, and his own counsel casts him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks into a snare. The net takes him by the heel, and a snare lays hold of him. A noose is hidden for him on the ground, and a trap for him in the road. Terrors frighten him on every side, and drive him to his feet. His strength is starved, and destruction is ready at his side. It devours patches of his skin. The firstborn of death devours his limbs. He is uprooted from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the king of terrors. They dwell in his tent who are none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his dwelling. His roots are dried out below, and his branch withers above. The memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name among the renowned. Bildad is speaking from a very worldly perspective. Because everything he's talking about is focused on success. Success and providence and prospering in the world. Verse 17, he really kind of drives the point home. The memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name among the renowned. That's worldly. He's not famous. He's very worldly focused here. He is driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He has neither son nor posterity among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at his day, as those in the east are frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him who does not know God. He just insulted Job by calling him evil, because he's talking about him in these last couple of verses. He's calling Job evil. That's why Job lost everything. And he's saying he doesn't know God. He just insulted Job, flat out to his face. Basically called him a heretic and an unbeliever, an evildoer. This is a very worldly man. Again, I still find it interesting. He seems to know a whole lot more than what he probably should. So he says here, he just flat out insults Job to his face, calls him an evildoer. Well, at least this happens all the time. The truth comes out immediately. It takes very little for someone to show their true colors. I run into this on my channel constantly, and people seem nice enough, and then I open up discussion, and it only takes a couple of responses, and they expose themselves if they're here for ulterior motives. His friends, they're here to watch him suffer. And then to make it worse, and Job called it when he was responding back to Eliphaz, he called it. They're just here to watch me suffer. Job is tired of them. So they're responding with hatred instead of trying to comfort him. They weren't never there to comfort him in the first place. And he sits here and he insults Job, calling him an evildoer and telling him he doesn't know God. Like Bildad knows God. Hardly. Because if he did, he would understand more about this situation that was going on. They're just there to make it worse. They're just there to make him feel worse. They're not there to help him. They're not there to mourn with him. Nonsense. But he's showing his true colors just like Eliphaz did in his response. So this is interesting. And Bildad's perspective is very worldly. Because everything he talks about in here, up to the last couple of verses, is all about worldly success. So we're starting to get a clear picture of who these guys really are. And it may be very much more true than what we would like to believe, that they knew much more about what was going on in Job's house than what maybe even Job realized. Because they seem to be very well up to date on certain situations. Kind of interesting. Satan does all of this and then sends these three guys to torment him more. Trying to see if he can get him to curse God. Well, he's messed up. Because now they're openly insulting him. If they would have kept their current track, they might have gotten Job to swing. But now they're openly insulting him. Now this is just going to make Job mad. And he is going to, and he admits that in verse 4, you who tear yourself in anger. So now Job is going to respond even more harshly. He is going to stand his ground more. They've literally, and it's funny, Satan messed up. And he's literally pushing Job closer to God. And he does this because he doesn't know any better. Amazing. So guys, that was Job 18. Pretty cut and dried here. And we're not done. Some of these videos are going to get much more elaborate. But it's pretty cut and dried what's going on here. They're having an argument. And it's Job and his three friends. So day after tomorrow, it's going to be Job trusts in his Redeemer. So his response to Bildad is going to be to trust God. And you can see, like what I just told you, Satan has made a mistake in that he's pushing Job closer to God instead of pulling him away. Because his three friends, who have now exposed themselves, two of them so far, about who they really are and being openly insulting to him, they're just pushing him closer to him. So Satan has already failed. And we're going to see the unfolding of this because there's one more friend that has to talk. And then it's really going to get interesting. Because at a certain point, God steps in and has a conversation with all four of them. Guys, that was Job 18. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.